Morning, everybody. Welcome to this week's Oneg Shabbat. Before we begin, I just want to mention something very exciting going on here at Gurwin. So as we all know, around our beautiful building are even more beautiful pictures throughout all the hallways, in the resident rooms and in the main hallways, beautiful pictures for the Gurwin photo contest, which takes place every single year. So this year, to add something a little more exciting to the photo contest, which is still going on, although we've been in here and the world's been going through the coronavirus, we still have our annual photo contest going on, and the judges were here the other day to decide on the winners. But we have a new category, actually, that the residents' choice. The residents will get to choose from a group of 10 pictures the winner of a special new category. And the pictures will be on the Gurwin channel later today, or if not, later over the weekend. So just stay tuned for that. You'll get your own ballots. You'll be able to choose, and you can decide which wonderful pictures will be in the hallway. When that happens, by that time we hope we will all be back in the hallway as usual to view all the new winners. I know when I first came to Gurwin and even now when I walk the hallways, I'm just looking at those pictures are amazing. So you guys get a chance to really choose who you feel should be on the wall. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaShoreis, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Amlochim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaShoreis, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Amlochim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaShoreis, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Amlochim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Amlochim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Amlochim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Amlochim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Ni l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Amlochim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Ni l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Amlochim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu Ni l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Amlochim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Amlochim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Amlochim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Amlochim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. This week in the Torah we're reading actually two parshiot, two different Torah sections of Matos and Maaseh, and there's two very interesting stories or points I'd like to share with everyone. The first is a very interesting story which takes place as the Jewish people, after 40 years in the desert, roaming around, are finally on their way to enter the land of Israel for the first time. And a group of tribes, 2 tribes, come, they approach Moshe Rabbeinu and Moses, and they say, we have a lot of cattle, we have a lot of sheep, and we don't know if it makes sense to go into such a small land. We know the land of Israel is so small, and there's so many lands outside of Israel which are so vast, and maybe for our animals it's better to be outside. And Moshe Rabbeinu was taken a shock. How could you have such a suggestion not to go ahead and go to the land of Israel? And after a lot of negotiating, they realized the following. They said that the Jewish people would go into the land of Israel and they'd have to fight and win some battles and win some wars, and it would not be right for the people outside who wanted to stay outside and not fight their ways in. And they finally made the agreement, and a peculiar thing happened in the Torah. After they agree that the Jewish people will go and fight the war with everyone else with their brothers inside, they go back and they have the same negotiation and come to the same conclusion again. And the question is, why does it repeat itself 2 times? It seemed like they had the final draft of the agreement, and then again they go over it a second and third time. And the answer is the following. There's one slight nuance in the agreement that they made. The first time they made the agreement, the tribe said, we'll go fight with them because, you know what, it's not the right thing to do, to let them fight and have us stay out here being in peace. And yet Moshe Rabbeinu said, it's not enough to do it because it's not the right thing to do. You have to want to do it as well. And the lesson was, and the second agreement, they said, you're right, we want to go in, we want to fight with them, we want to help them out as much as possible. And one of the lessons we learn here is that sometimes in life there are different things we could do, but for different reasons. Sometimes we could do activities because it's the right thing to do. It would be wrong not to do that. But sometimes it's, we have to want to do it as well. And it's important to take those activities which we know we have to do anyway, which are appropriate to do, and do it once we want to do it. For the residents here, they can mean a lot of different things. Of course, I'm sure everyone gives thank you, says thanks, and appreciates all the help from the nursing and the doctors and the staff, and we tell them thank you because it's the right thing to do. But besides being the right thing to do, let's go ahead and do it because we want to do it. We want to say thank you to everyone around us. L'cha dodi likras kala p'nei Shabbos nekabila. L'cha dodi likras kala p'nei Shabbos nekabila. Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad. Hishmiya hanukel hamyuchad. Hashem echad u'shmo echad. Shemo Tiferet v'letzila. Lecha dodi likras kala p'nei Shabbos nekabila. Likras shambos lechu v'nelcha. Ki mekar haverocha merosh mikedem nesucha. Sov maaseh b'machshava tchila. Lecha dodi likras kala p'nei Shabbos nekabila. Yamin u'smo tifrotzi v'yez Hashem taritzi. Al yad ben yishai beis halachmi. Karva el nafshi gi ala. Lecha dodi likras kala p'nei Shabbos nekabila. V'oi b'shalom ateres b'ala. Gam berina u'v'sahala. Tochem unei am segula. V'oi kala. Lecha dodi likras kala p'nei Shabbos nekabila. The other point I wanted to mention is that at the end, right before the Jews go into the land of Israel, the Torah recounts all the different places they went in their journeys for 40 years in the desert. They actually went to 42 different cities and camped there, some for a short amount of time, some for a long amount of time. And the question is, at this point it's over, it's past history. Why do you have to mention all the different 42 places? It's a long list in the Torah. 42 different places that they visited, they traveled to, they stayed there. Why does it matter? Right now they're going to the land of Israel. Shouldn't that be enough? And the commentaries say a very interesting answer, which is very profound as well. That although a lot of times we see the end of the line, we see the light at the end of the tunnel, we have to remember our journeys, how we got there. And sometimes the journeys are difficult, sometimes the journeys are hard, but we should always reflect on them and remember them. As we know, as the coronavirus is getting much better in New York, and we're ramping up here at Gurwin for visitation to open things up, as soon as possible, as soon as we can. We have to know and understand that it's been a long journey, but along the journey we've learned a lot of lessons, and every place we've been to across this journey is important to remember, and to always reflect on the places we've been, the things we've gone through, the people who've helped us out, and if we do that, we will ensure to see success in the future. Adon Olam Asher Malach V'terem Kol Yitzir Nivra Li'es Nasa B'chefso Kol Azai Melech Shemo Nikra V'yacharei Kichlos HaKol Levahado Yimloch Nora V'uhaya V'uhoveh V'hu yiyeh b'sifara v'hu echad v'yein sheni L'hamshila l'hachbira b'li reishis b'li sachlis v'lo hoz v'hamisra v'hu keli v'chai goadli v'zor chevli v'yeis nasa v'hu nisi umanosli Minas kosi biyom ekra v'yahadav avkid ruchi v'yesi shan v'yahira v'yem ruchi v'yasi ado shem li v'lo ira. Everyone shall have a continued happy and healthy Shabbat, and we'll see everybody next week.